Hi guys, today we have a bit of an impromptu video because I went to my local fruit and veg store that is like well known to be quite affordable, and I saw this box of fruit and veg, mainly fruit, for $3, $2.99. So I bought it, but because it's on the edge, it's right on the edge, so everything kind of has to be processed. So I thought I could show you what I'm going to do with it and how I'm going to process it, so that I can get a maximum amount from here. Whatever I have to throw out is actually going to go in my compost. So there is no love lost here, and I will use this cardboard in the garden as well. So there is just no packaging and there is no waste. And if there are parts, like, I'll be honest, like that looks really gross, chop that off. I'm going to peel it, probably turn it into a fruit salad. So what I'm going to do is kind of categorize apples. We've got lemons, a lot of apples, which is great because I was going to go and buy apples for what, $4 or $5 a kilo. And I've got, I couldn't even tell you, it's quite heavy. Oh, maybe 5 kilos for $3. Like this one's so fine. Like when I feed it to the kids, I'll cut that out and then feed it to them. You know what I mean? Like some things I don't need to process, but like these avocados are super smushy. I don't know if they're salvageable, but I thought there's going to be some losses in this $3 box, but it's still only $3, so it's okay. And like, I don't really have high standards. So let's categorize everything. Right, so looks like the majority is nectarines, and some of them are pretty okay. Like they look like they're on their last legs. The tomatoes are pretty good. Like some of them are pretty fine. The ones that are pretty fine, I'm going to put straight into the fridge. These green ones I'll just leave out to ripen a little bit more. And then I might turn the rest into a nice little salsa. That could be great because I love salsa, or a bruschetta to have on some of my sourdough. We have 4 avocados that are very smushy, so I don't anticipate much, but if there is green inside, I'm going to turn this into guacamole. This one, I'm going to use the rind. So I basically, 2 days ago, yesterday, I made hot cross buns, sourdough hot cross buns. And I want to make more for actual Easter time. And I'll probably use the rind from this, give it a good wash. And then the inside looks like it's going to be fine. There's just a tiny little bruise here and that's it. Apples, I'm definitely going to process. There's lots of holes and bruises. We're going to cut them all up, peel them. I'm going to turn this into an applesauce to put onto pancakes. And we have 2 lemons in perfectly fine condition. So there, I already have lemons too. I'm going to pop these in the fridge because they probably are older. That's why they're in the box. I think we could totally do this. Even if these are all horrible, I'm just going to put them in the compost. Not a problem. And with the pear, I'm going to add whatever is left on here that's salvageable and put it into the applesauce that I'm going to make. And I think we're going to have a good time. So let me get a bowl for waste and a bowl. I wanted to make a fruit salad. I think I'm going to make a fruit salad with some of the apple, some of the nectarine, and the insides of this with some lemon juice on top. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3 fruit salad. And I'm going to put that into a container to have throughout the weekend. Right, what am I going to start with first? I think I want to see what this avocado situation is. And if they're bad, they'll go straight into here. I think that's a good idea. All right. I'm not hopeful. They're just overripe. Okay, we're gonna have guacamole and salsa for lunch, for sure. Oh my God, that's exciting. All right, let me get a bowl. I wish I bought coriander because I bought dill, but I didn't buy coriander. I did buy a red onion, so we're gonna do the red onion. That's gonna be delicious. I got bananas for $3.50 a kilo. That was really good. They're really cheap there, I love it. And they're open early, so I can go straight after school drop off. dill and that. Should I put a bit of dill in? I don't think it'd be bad. I have coriander, but I've only just started growing it, so it's like literally like just one piece, and I just don't think I can do that. Okay, let's make some. It's gonna be very easy to smush. That's for sure. Yeah, it's not even brown. Happy days. Can't believe I bought all of this for $3. Thing is, most people want perfect and fresh and something that's going to last, but like we go through fruit. That's why I'm always there, is because we go through fruit like for breakfast and for lunch. So that's 4 pieces of fruit a day I use for the kids. And they don't care how it is as long as it's fruit. Okay, this one's a little bit brown, but that's okay. And that's all right. And once it's got a bit of lemon juice and it's in the fridge, this will probably, I won't obviously eat all of this today, but I reckon it'll last till tomorrow in the fridge, which is all I need. This one's fine. No issues with that one. I can't believe it. I actually thought when I was picking this up, I was like, these will probably throw away, but it doesn't matter because everything's $3 anyway. Even if I lose half of it, it's still cheap, and I'm going to compost it. So it's like, I was like, it's worth the risk for $3. They're actually 2 boxes. This one looked, I mean, they both look the same, but I liked that this one had, I could see this in here, and I saw that the lemons looked really good. So that's why I picked this one. And this one's fine too. So it was really only 1 and 1.5 that weren't too good. But this is fine, and it's so easy to mush. Would you guys get something like this? Would you pick up a box for $3 and then spend the time to process it? I'm just at a point, I haven't really been getting any work. So I've had to like really double down on being frugal. And this is a great way for me to do that, because now I've got healthy meals that I can eat, and I'm making my own sourdough. I've actually got 2 loaves that I'm about to make today that I made last night. So I just popped those out actually. So I'm having a very cheap, yummy meal. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put some za'atar in this. It's going to be delicious. And I will put a little bit of tomato. I'll pick one of the firmer tomatoes. That way it's not going to be so Mexican. It's going to be a little bit more Middle Eastern. I'm going to do some lemon. So good. I really want to get a lemon and lime tree. What are they called? Like the ones that are like grafted. Because I'm in a small space. Having one tree that does lemon and lime would be so good. Not too much onion, because we don't want to take over the flavour. And then I'll just put some salt in it. And that'll be that. And you know what? This will be after school snack today, because Ivy loves dip. She loves guacamole, or avocado in general. Muna, not so much. But Ivy's got a wonderful appetite for trying new food. I'm going to say this is worth $1. And that's being generous. Because it's not even a third of everything, but avocados are more expensive. Oh, I didn't do garlic. Let me do that. All right, let's give this a taste test. I added 1 clove of garlic and just a slither more onion. That's better. And that extra lemon, it was almost like too avocado-y. You know what I'm talking about? That lemon just cut right through it. Oh, that's perfect. That's going to be my lunch. I just put some foil. I should have put it in one of these containers, but it's all right. We're going to eat it all anyway. I'll put this in the fridge. And that is one done. Right, next, because we're on the same ingredients, we're going to do salsa. Let's do it, because I love salsa. So I'm going to pick out the worst ones. And we're gonna give them a wash, and then we're gonna cut them all, like take off all the bad bits. That one looks a little sad, but I think half of it will be okay. That one's not bad. That one's not bad. She's on the border. These ones I'm gonna have to like cut in half. These two, I can put these in the fridge. These look okay. I got jalapeno from the garden. I just pulled up all the chili plants. No, I've got one left. But the jalapenos I pulled up, so I actually have that. I could put that, no, we'll leave the guac how it is because it's got the za'atar, and we're gonna put the jalapeno in the salsa. I was even thinking with these, I could make them, leave them out, but they seem pretty green. I could make fried green tomatoes with these, which are delicious. I used to live in the South in America, and this got me onto fried green tomatoes, so I could just do that. And that's 3 tomatoes, so it'd be like a nice side to a dish. So I think I'll do that with those. Right, these 3 don't look very good. So I'm actually just gonna, I didn't realize there were so many tomatoes in the box. They were all laying at the bottom. I mainly got it for the 2 fruits. So that's a nice little bonus. Okay, let's start with these 3. Should I put it in a blender? Yeah, let's do that. I've got a blender. I'm gonna cut them all up and we're gonna put them in a blender. I think that'll just be so much easier. And I might go to the store and get corn chips. Because I've in the past, with my tomatoes from the summer garden, I have made batches of salsa because I love it. I love eating it. As opposed to making pasta sauce, I've always kind of made salsa because I find it easier. And putting it in the freezer, so I always have it on hand. And that's always worked well for me. This one's pretty good too. It's just a bit soft, which will be perfectly fine for blended salsa. This one's not looking too happy, but that's fine. There's a mixture of soft and just underripe tomatoes. Just not, I guess, suitable for selling, or they did not sell when they were on display is my guess. But once you open them up, they seem fine. It's just the outside bruising. We can work with that. And these are, majority of them are paste tomatoes, which are very nice. And they look very tasty, I'll be honest. And then I don't have to dice up my garlic or my onion. And I love that. One less step. I've got 2 cloves of garlic and I'll put some onion. I'm glad I got that onion. I'm annoyed that I don't have coriander because I love coriander. Okay. Let's do it. Get all of this in. Probably not the most glamorous way to do it. Oil. Basil. No. I don't really have basil. I got coriander seeds. Would that be the same? I'll put a little bit of dill in just for some freshness. Lots of salt. I'll do this, give it a taste test and see what it's missing. That's a flavor bomb. I can really taste that jalapeno. And it's really sweet. I thought those tomatoes seemed like they looked like they were going to be sweet. I think a little bit more salt. What have I got? I do have coriander seeds. Should I? Should I? Let's just do a few, huh? The dill's quite nice in it, actually. Okay, we're going to leave that there. It's very spicy, but like, you know, jalapeno, it's like just the right amount of spice. That's a lot of salsa. Yay, another down. Alright, I'm trying to stay on top of keeping everything in order. This is going to go in the fridge. I'm going to put these green tomatoes in the fridge because I think I am going to fry them. I think that'll be a nice side to dinner one night. I've also bought a whole cabbage for like $3.50. I want to do sauerkraut, so that's going to be a future video. Okay, let's do a fruit salad. Where did I put my fruit salad bowl? Let's do a nice big fruit salad, and then whatever remains, I'm going to cook down into a sauce. I might actually turn this over. I still wipe it down, but it's got like garlic and onion on it. So I might flip it over for our fruit. So let's pick out some fruit. I want the best ones for the fruit salad. That is actually okay apart from that. So let's do that. We'll do this. I've still got my half a lemon, and I do have more lemons that I bought a while ago. We're going to do this, and I'm going to keep the rind and make sure it's nice and clean. This one's very bruised, so that's going to go in the sauce. And these tend to taste a bit watery, so we want them to be nice and crunchy in the fruit salad. We'll see how that one is. Let's go with that, because otherwise it's going to be too big. Let me start with that, because I don't even know what they look like on the inside. I think with these I'm going to peel them as well. I don't think I'm actually going to have the skin, just because they are a bit old. If there's anything my children love, it's fruit salad. It's their favourite thing. All right, let me cut this off. And I'm going to leave this out on my windowsill here. I wouldn't mind if it was a little bit dried up too, for the hot cross buns. It's so interesting that through my frugal journey, just trying to get the most that I can per dollar for my family, in that journey, I have actually found that I have more food in the house because I'm making more effort to make things, and when I'm making things, I'm making a batch of it. So I've actually been noticing I have more food. Like I've got my hot cross buns, I'm gonna have 2 loaves of bread. I was saying this to the kids last night. I was like, we've actually got heaps of food. I said to them, the only thing I need to get is fruit, which is what I got today, because I've been buying in bulk, and it's not something I can afford all the time, buying in bulk, but if I can, I'll get what I can, you know what I mean? And just trying to find cut corners that way, which it's been very interesting to watch that. I think when we're looking, when we don't have to be on alert financially, we kind of take it for granted in a way, and it's not intentional. But I have noticed the difference in, I was just buying what was easy, and that didn't last. Like buying dinner for the night, which I still do, but then there's nothing left over. But like last night I made pizza. Well, there's heaps left over. So that's school lunch, that's, you know, it trickles over because I'm making a batch. Whereas if I were to go to buy pizza, I probably buy one pizza for what, $20, and then that's it. So I have noticed I've actually been richer in my resources since trying to cut corners. And like things like this. In the past I would have been like, oh yeah, but that's so much effort. Yes, it is effort. But my kids are going to come home and there's going to be fruit salad in the fridge. There's going to be dip and salsa and like things that are like made and just ready to eat. And yes, it's effort, but it's also so easy for my children to eat healthy foods because they're ready to go in the fridge. And I love that. I love that. All right, I need to speed up the process I'm going to peel all of these first, cut them up. And if one is not good, I'll just leave it to the side to put into the applesauce, and I'll kind of just go from there. So what I am doing as I'm going through, I'm separating, because once I've peeled them and then I just cut out the little bruises, like this one on the outside looked really bad, but once I've peeled it and cut out the little bruises, it's actually really good apple. So the ones that are a bit crispier, like the pink ladies, because I've got all different types. I've got pink lady, red gala, golden Dell. I've got all different kinds. So the ones that are nice and crispy, I'm putting to this side to put in the fruit salad. And then the ones that are like these smaller ones are a bit softer. Just the type of apple that it is, not that it's like rotten. So I'm going to put these in the applesauce. And what I'm doing with the applesauce is I'm going to cook it with you. But what I do is I do it all the time for the kids. When I say applesauce, it's more like not a jam, there's a word for it and I cannot think of it right now. And I say it all the time. But basically like a sauce that I'm going to cook down to put on top of pancakes. So when I make the kids pancakes, which is regularly, because it's a very cheap meal for me to make and the kids love it. I often do it on weekends. And I'll top it with applesauce and a dollop of yogurt. So that's my plan. This looks like a lot of apple to put in here. So I think I'm going to chop all of this up and put it in here. So far we've got the mandarin and that small pear. Just kind of like that. And then once it's finished, I'm going to douse the lemon juice on it so it stays nice and fresh in the fridge. And then I'm going to do some nectarine. So I think I'm actually going to stop there. But I'm going to continue doing this and chop it up small and then I'll put it in my pot. And I'm going to cook this down slowly on a low heat so I can get it really nice and yummy. And what I do is I add lemon juice and I have raw sugar. I was thinking about adding a bit of brown sugar just for that caramelized taste. So we might do a bit of both. But you don't need any thickener because the sugar is going to thicken it over that time. Okay, so I've put some lemon juice on it. I'm going to sprinkle some, I like cinnamon. And I don't add any water at this stage unless I think it needs it. I don't think it will. I think the waters from the fruit will come out. I'm just eyeballing this. All right, we'll give this a stir. So I'm gonna, you kind of want it to come to a boil and then you reduce it. And that's what thickens it. I'm just stirring this to get the sugars and the cinnamon evenly in there. And I'm gonna have a lot of sauce. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. I might use it, definitely use it with pancakes, but I might even use it in muffins, like a swirl, apple swirl muffin. So this is what we're working with. This is what's left, which is really exciting. All I have left are these nectarines, and these are going to be the most time consuming. Just because I totally forgot, like you open it. How are these? Yeah, they're not. Oh my God. See, that's a bad one. That's bad. I think I might need to reevaluate. I think I need to figure out which nectarines are bad and which ones are good. Because I opened one and it's really bad. So I think I need to sort through all of that. And then maybe like reevaluate what I'm going to do with the nectarines. Because I really want to get my bread in the oven. So that's what I'm going to do right now. All right, what design am I going to do? I'm new to this. Let's do, I really liked the box. It was simple, but I liked the way it looked. Just some. Yeah, I think that's good. All right. So the nectarines are not great. There were, like, some of them are rotten in the core. Not bothering. These are a little bit browned, but they're not rotten. They're just on the border. I'm going to cut these up and I'm going to make a sauce, just like the apples. I don't want them in the fruit salad, but I think I can still salvage some. If it's too crossing the border too much, it's just going to be going. Whatever I can salvage, I'm going to turn into a fruit sauce. because like that's right on the border. I will still eat that in a sauce, just not fresh. But if it's too brown, like there's some that was dark brown, not doing it. These are definitely past their date. It's a bit tedious because of the core, but I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm just peeling the whole thing. Like this one's not bad. Then I'm just going around the seed. That's not rotten. That is just the actual seed where you know how it goes darker. They're not in great shape, but they're also not totally dead. And by the time a lot of these will be gone. This one looks fine. I think I'll still have a lot of nectarine to cook down. So I'm going to spend some time doing that. The bread is in the oven, one of the breads, and this is cooking down quite nicely. So I did bring it to a boil and now it's on very low heat. And I'm just going to keep cooking that until it turns into a mush. And then I'll do the exact same thing. But I might not do cinnamon. I might do clove, nutmeg. I'm not too sure. Whatever inspires me, I guess. But this is going to be tedious. It'll be okay. I'll get through it. But apples, I'm fine. They're quick and easy. This is a little bit more tedious. Okay, so I got there. But most of it was bad. You can see the rotten core. I tried, some of it looks a bit brown. It's gotten more brown because it's just been sitting there. But some of it was okay. I am going to cook this down so much that I'm going to turn it into more like a syrup. I'm going to blend it. I want it to be a little bit more watery, maybe to add into things. So I'm going to have a higher sugar content and water content than the applesauce. So it's a little bit different, and I really want to cook this down and blend it as much as I can. This is all going in the compost. I mean, the fact that the nectarines alone were a whole bowl and then everything else was one bowl. So that kind of indicates where we're at. I put some lemon juice on my fruit salad, so that's going to go into the fridge. It's pretty much apple, but I don't think the kids will complain. I do have bananas I can add in fresh. Applesauce is ready. It's looking really good. So I'm going to pop it in here, let it cool down, and then that'll go in the fridge. And I'm just going to use the same pot for the nectarines. But that's a really nice amount of sauce. Like if I give them a nice big dollop on their pancakes, that'll last a while. And we're going to try and get all of this in. I probably got I'm going to use maybe a cup of water. I'm going to use my regular raw sugar. I'm really eyeballing this, guys, so there's no recipe. I don't really use recipes for sauces. I want this to be quite syrupy though, so that's to make up for the fact that the nectarine's a bit tough. And then half a lemon. All right, I'm going to bring this to the boil. And it's just the same process, except this has more water. And I don't know if I'm going to put spices in this one. I'll see how I go. All right, so here are the nectarines. They've been cooking for a while. I'm going to put them in the blender. I'm going to blend it up. And once it's blended, I'm going to decide whether by taste and texture, whether I want to put it back in or bottle it up. So let's do that. Let's give it a little taste test. Tastes nice. I don't think I did too much sugar because it's sweet, but I can still really taste the nectarine. So we've got a lot here. So what I'm going to do is, this is now cool enough. I had my lunch, so this is a huge hole. Not happy with that. This is still cooling down. I'm still on my sourdough journey. It's just not fluffy. I don't have fluffy bread. Like, it's totally tastes good and is edible, but it's not fluffy. So this, I brought this out, which I think will be one good option, but that's a lot. How much have we got? 2 liters. 2 liters of Nectarine sauce. I'm gonna have, if you got any suggestions what I can do, please, I'm all ears. I'm hoping that does a little bit of a lock because it is so hot. But there's one. And then this one's a little bit less. So I might just put it in like a container and put it in the fridge so I'm just like easily accessing it. Wow, I'm so happy with that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is everything we achieved today. I am so proud of everything that I've done today. We've got 2 loaves of sourdough, glass jar of Nectarine sauce, extra Nectarine sauce, apple sauce, tomato salsa, guacamole, and a fruit salad. All for essentially $3. Let's throw in another dollar for the bread. $4 to $5 for everything here on this table. I'm so happy. So that completes today's video. I really hope you enjoyed making the most of food that was going to end up in landfill. It is processed. It is delicious. I'm going to go and get some corn chips and I'm going to be having this as my afternoon snack. I'm very excited. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new here. Share with your friends to get some good tips, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.